When an unstoppable force meets an immovable object, something has to break. Brock Lesnar just reminded the entire WWE universe why he's called the Beast Incarnate, and Gunther the Ring General himself just experienced a level of brutality that no one saw coming. This wasn't just a match. This was a statement. And what went down will change everything. What is going on, Suplex Rumble family? Welcome back to the channel where we break down the most explosive moments, the hardest hitting matches, and everything that makes professional wrestling the most electrifying entertainment in the world. If this is your first time here, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button right now, and smash that notification bell because we're about to dive into one of the most physically devastating encounters in recent WWE history. Today, we're talking about Brock Lesnar vs. Gunther, a collision that had the wrestling world buzzing for weeks, and a match that exceeded every single expectation. Let's break it all down. Before we get into the absolute carnage that took place, we need to talk about what made this match so significant. You have two of the most dominant, most legitimate, most physically imposing superstars in WWE history. Let's start with Gunther the Ring General. This man has been on an absolute tear since arriving on the main roster. His Intercontinental Championship reign was legendary, one of the longest and most dominant in modern WWE history. Gunther doesn't just win matches, he dismantles opponents. His chops are bone-crushing, his strikes are stiff and brutal, and his technical wrestling ability is world-class. Gunther represents old-school, hard-hitting European wrestling. He brings an intensity and a seriousness to the ring that demands respect. When Gunther steps between those ropes, you know you're in for a fight. He's methodical, he's calculated, and he breaks his opponents down systematically like a master strategist. The Ring General has defeated everyone put in front of him. He's beaten legends, he's beaten rising stars, and he's done it all with a level of dominance that made him look absolutely unstoppable. And then there's Brock Lesnar, the Beast Incarnate, the Conqueror. A legitimate NCAA Division I heavyweight wrestling champion, a former UFC heavyweight champion, a multiple-time WWE champion, a man who has dominated every combat sport he's ever competed in. Brock Lesnar is the definition of a once-in-a-generation athlete. His combination of speed, power, agility, and raw athletic ability is unmatched. At nearly 300 pounds, Lesnar can move like a cruiserweight, hit like a heavyweight, and execute suplexes that defy physics. When Brock Lesnar shows up, people get hurt. It's that simple. His matches are violent, physical, and often end with his opponents looking like they've been through an absolute war. So when these two titans were set to collide, the wrestling world knew we were in for something special. Two different styles of brutality. Two men who pride themselves on physical dominance. Two competitors who have never backed down from anyone. The question wasn't whether this would be physical. The question was, who would survive? From the moment the bell rang, the atmosphere was electric. You could feel the tension in the arena. The crowd was absolutely buzzing with anticipation. Gunther and Lesnar stood across the ring from each other, and the stare-down alone was worth the price of admission. Neither man blinked. Neither man showed an ounce of intimidation. This was respect between two apex predators. The initial lockup was thunderous. Both men testing each other's strength, jockeying for position, trying to establish dominance from the very beginning. And this is where things got interesting. Gunther actually held his ground against Lesnar's raw power. The Ring General wasn't going to be pushed around. He matched Lesnar's intensity, delivered a brutal European uppercut that snapped Lesnar's head back, and followed up with those devastating chops across Lesnar's chest. The sound echoed throughout the arena like gunshots. For a moment, Gunther was actually controlling the pace. His technical superiority was on full display. He was targeting Lesnar's arm, attempting to neutralize the suplex game. He was chopping away at Lesnar's chest, leaving angry red welts. The Ring General was executing his game plan perfectly. But then, the beast woke up. Lesnar caught Gunther mid-strike, lifted him effortlessly, and delivered a German suplex that planted the Ring General on the back of his head. The arena exploded. And Brock wasn't done, not even close. Suplex after suplex after suplex. Lesnar was in full beast mode, ragdolling one of the most dominant champions in WWE history like he was a lightweight. The Suplex City signs in the crowd weren't just accurate, they were prophetic. What happened next was the turning point of the entire match. Gunther, showing the heart of a champion, tried to fight back. He delivered a brutal big boot that would have knocked out most opponents. He hit a powerbomb that would have ended most matches. But Lesnar kept getting up, kept coming forward, kept bringing the pain. The Beast Incarnate was feeding off the punishment. Every strike Gunther landed seemed to only make Lesnar angrier, more determined, more focused. Lesnar hit an F5 that nearly broke the ring. The impact was sickening. Gunther's body bounced off the canvas, and the crowd thought it was over. But somehow, impossibly, the Ring General kicked out. The toughness, the heart, the refusal to stay down. Gunther proved why he's been so dominant. But that kick out might have been a mistake. Brock Lesnar looked at Gunther with this expression of almost respect mixed with murderous intent. It was like he was saying, "Okay, you want to keep fighting? Let me show you what happens when you wake the beast." What followed was an absolute onslaught. Lesnar unleashed a level of brutality that we rarely see even from him. More German suplexes, each one more devastating than the last. A thunderous spinebuster that shook the ring. Knees to the midsection that drove the air out of Gunther's lungs. Lesnar wasn't just trying to win anymore. He was trying to make a statement. He was reminding everyone in that arena, everyone watching at home, and everyone in the locker room exactly why he's the most dangerous man in WWE history. The crowd was going absolutely insane. Chants of "This is awesome" and "Fight forever" filled the arena, but the reality was becoming clear: Gunther was being systematically destroyed by a force of nature. As the match entered its final moments, Gunther was running on pure heart and instinct. His body was broken, his chest was a mess of red welts and bruises, and he could barely stand. But the ring general refused to quit. That's championship mentality. That's warrior spirit. Gunther attempted one last comeback. He hit Lesnar with a desperation clothesline that actually staggered the beast. He followed up with a sleeper hold, trying to drain what remained of Lesnar's energy. For a moment, just a moment, it looked like Gunther might actually pull off the impossible. But Lesnar powered out, throwing Gunther off him with pure brute strength. And then came the end. Brock Lesnar lifted Gunther up for another F5, but this time he held him there, walking around the ring, showcasing his strength, letting everyone see the inevitability of what was about to happen. When he finally executed the move, Gunther crashed to the canvas with devastating force. Lesnar went for the cover. 1, 2, 3. The Beast Incarnate had conquered the ring general. But what happened after the bell might have been even more significant. Lesnar stood over Gunther, staring down at him, and there was this moment where you could see the respect. Both men had pushed each other to the absolute limit. Both men had proven why they're at the top of the industry. Gunther slowly got to his feet, battered and beaten, and there was this incredible moment where Lesnar extended his hand. The crowd held their breath. Would the ring general accept the show of respect? After a long moment, Gunther shook Lesnar's hand. Two warriors acknowledging each other's greatness. The arena erupted in applause. It was a beautiful moment of sportsmanship after one of the most brutal matches of the year. So what does this match mean for both men moving forward? For Brock Lesnar, this was a reminder that even in the later stages of his career, he's still the most dominant force in WWE when he wants to be. The Beast Incarnate can still deliver on the biggest stages against the toughest opponents. This match elevated Lesnar's already legendary status and proved that he still must see television every single time he appears. For Gunther, this wasn't a loss, it was an education. The ring general went toe-to-toe with arguably the greatest combat sports athlete in WWE history and pushed him further than most people ever have. Yes, Gunther lost, but he lost to Brock Lesnar at his absolute best, and there's zero shame in that. If anything, this match proved that Gunther belongs in the conversation with the all-time greats. The toughness he showed, the heart he displayed, the refusal to quit even when he was being absolutely brutalized, that's the stuff that defines legendary careers. The mutual respect shown after the match suggests that both men came out of this encounter better than they went in. Gunther learned what it takes to compete at the absolute highest level against the most dangerous opponent possible. Lesnar was reminded that the new generation of WWE superstars is tough, talented, and ready to carry the company forward. The clash between Brock Lesnar and Gunther was everything we hoped it would be and more. It was physical, it was brutal, it was technical, and it was absolutely unforgettable. Both men proved why they're at the top of WWE, and both men earned the respect of everyone watching. This is the kind of match that reminds us why we love professional wrestling. The athleticism, the storytelling, the emotion, the sheer physical intensity, it was all on display in this incredible encounter. What did you think, Suplex Rumble family? Who impressed you more, Lesnar's dominant performance or Gunther's incredible toughness? Should we get a rematch? And where do both men go from here? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because I want to hear from you. If you enjoyed this breakdown, show some love by hitting that like button, subscribe to Suplex Rumble if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you never miss our wrestling content. Share this video with your friends who need to see this analysis. Thank you so much for watching.